Hey, what's the deal, people? It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports. RawSports.tv is the website. The YouTube channel is Raw Sports Films. We back, man. I just want to say, it feels so good to be back, man. I didn't, make it public at all, but I'm not sure if anyone was aware. But I had to actually take about 2 weeks off from Legends Week. That's why, I know a lot of people were, texting me and, DMing me and stuff like that. Yo, what's up with Legends Week? Like last week and the week before. But I'm not sure if you guys can see. I'm actually rocking a sling right now, man. I actually had to go under and have a procedure done to my shoulder. So I'm just kind of in recovery right now. So that's why you guys didn't see any Legends Week episodes over the last 2 weeks, man. Because Big Star had to go under and get a little minor procedure done to my shoulder. But I'm recovering. And we back, man. It's Legends Week, Season 6. And tonight we definitely got a classic. I started the broadcast a few minutes early because I just wanted to kind of give a little just wanted to let y'all know that. And then, give a little background on my man, Brian Samuels, my guest tonight, man. This is definitely going to be one of those classics, man. A legendary story. Definitely a story that's fitting to start a new season off with, man. A season premiere. And shout out to real quick. Just want to shout out to my man Lackey, man. Lackey, I see you on, man. Lackey, my man. He's been telling me so much about Brian Samuels, man. Simon Gratz, legend. Oh, here we go. Rutgers legend. We're gonna get right into it. There he is, the
How you doing?
legend.
How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. It's good to have you, man. Right on
Good.
time. Hey, I actually started the broadcast like a few seconds early, but you're so punctual. You right on it, man. I appreciate it, man.
No
Um,
question.
Before we get into it, I was just wanted to finish letting the people know a few things. One, if anybody watching, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. This is my man Brian Samuels. This is season 6 of Legends Week. Tonight we got it's definitely gonna be a classic episode, man. Brian Samuels, Simon Gratz Bulldogs legend, Rutgers legend, man. Amazing story. If you're tuning into the Legends Week series for the first time, you can watch all the previous episodes on the Raw Sports Films YouTube channel or the website rawsports.tv. We back. Hey, and I was just letting all the people know, man. I had to take a week or two off from Legends Week. I'm not sure if they can see, but I'm rocking the sling right now.
Okay.
I'll be known as the Sling King for the next couple of weeks, man. I had to get a minor procedure done to my shoulder. But we back, man. Legends Week with my man Brian Samuels, man. Appreciate you joining me tonight. What's good with you, man?
Right. Nothing much, man. Good to be here.
Of course, I appreciate it, man. Real quick, man. I got a lot, tons of stuff that I want to cover with you tonight.
Mm.
And real quick, it wouldn't be fitting unless I shout it out real quick. My man Lackey,
Mm-hmm.
who's told me so much about you, man. Who's endorsed you. I knew about you previously, but this episode, I definitely want to give a quick shout out to my man Lackey. That's your guy. He's been telling me to definitely get you on, man, and we here, man. So I just would definitely had to shout him out. But two things, man, regarding Legends Week, I just want to let you know. First, I just want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, Brian Samuels. Giving me the time to tell your story on the platform. It means so much to me. And one thing, man, regarding Legends Week, and the reasons why I do it, just want to pay homage to your legacy and all the things that you've given to the culture. You know what I mean? All the things that you've given, to the hoop culture, entertaining the fans over the years. And I never want anyone to forget about Brian Samuels and
Mm-hmm.
your contribution. You know what I'm saying? And then also for the younger generation, this serves as a form of education, just to educate the younger kids on who you are, your contribution, and those guys who've laid the foundation. You know what I mean, for the things that they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's Legends Week in a nutshell, man. So you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So before we get into your story, man, we're gonna do a quick little thing I call 10 random questions. I'm gonna just shoot 10 random things at you just to kind of get you warmed up. All right.
Okay.
All right. So your era, you class of '95,
Yeah.
as I am. I'm a
Yeah.
Norristown Eagle. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Class of '95. Your era, and those were some of the golden years of regarding our generation as far as like hip hop. The Philly scene, all that kind of stuff. Who's one of your favorite Philly rappers from your era? From your era?
Philly rappers from my era,
Yeah, either individual or group.
individual or group. From my era. Who rappers? I would say Beanie Siegel.
Beans, hands down?
Yeah, I would say Beanie Siegel.
No doubt. Most points you ever put up in a game, college, summer league, high school, anything?
The most points in a game, I think it was 40 in junior high school.
Gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah, yeah,
gotcha,
Fitzsimons.
gotcha.
Hmm.
Um, coming up in the '80s, everybody watched wrestling, whether it's NWA, WWF. Everybody was a wrestling head, whether you
Right.
wanted to be or not. Who were some of your favorite wrestlers coming up?
Oh man, number one was Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
For sure, for
All
sure.
right, Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
All right, the British Bulldogs.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Bob Backlund.
Yes. Oh, you going in? You going
Bob
in?
Backlund. Yeah, Bob Backlund. And this dude never won. If you remember, SD Jones, Special Delivery Jones.
Special
He
Delivery
was
Jones. Of
he
course,
was
I remember.
terrible. He never won, but he was one of my favorite though.
No doubt. No doubt. That's what's up. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you mentioning that because I haven't heard Special Delivery in a while. So I mean,
Yeah.
I've asked this question tons of times, and he's definitely unsung. Nobody ever mentioned Special Delivery Jones. So I appreciate that.
Right.
um, regarding hoopers, guys who, whether some of your peers or any basketball players that they came a couple years ahead of you, who are some guys who inspired you, coming up in the Philly area, some basketball players?
Oh man, Jerome Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Pooh Allen, my man Pooh. Kareem Towns, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my man Cat Mobley,
Yep.
Catino Mobley. Al Williams.
No doubt.
And those just a few of the guys that I kind of stole things from their game. I kind of took things from them and
Mm-hmm.
kind of added it to my game as I got older and as I matured as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the guys right there that I would say off the top.
Got you. What's your favorite food? If you had to go with one food for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. No doubt. No doubt. That's
Absolutely.
what's up.
Can't live
That's
without
what's
them.
up. That's what's up. And one side to go with that. Well, what side would you pick? One side.
Cheese eggs.
Cheese eggs.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. So the series Martin.
Hmm.
What's one of the favorite characters that he played? One of your favorite characters that he played?
Oh man. What's the guy? Elroy Preston, the car guy. Don't you know no good?
Oh, no doubt. Don't you know no good? Yo, and I know that shit guy because you actually pulled his name out. Because anybody else would have been like, my man, don't you know no good? Yeah?
Right.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Favorite sports movie? If you had to pick one.
Favorite sports movie? He Got Game.
He Got Game?
He Got Game.
All right. Favorite, I don't want to narrow it down and say like top 3, top 5, but some of your favorite Gratz Bulldogs of all time.
Oh man. That's tough, man. It's
That's what I'm
so
saying.
many.
That's why I wanted to leave it open-ended just in case you want to say everybody.
Oh, wow. You put me in a bind with that one. This is a lot, man. My
And
favorite.
listen. This is not like top. This is not a top. You know what I'm saying? Just some of your favorite just some of your personal favorite Bulldogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite Bulldogs of all time. Number one would be LeVan Austin.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite. He probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Eddie Savage. Eddie Poo Poo Savage. He's from Diamond Street, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So many guys, man. I can't even. It's crazy. Contrail Scott.
Gotcha.
Contrail Scott.
Give me one more name.
Marvin O'Connor.
Marv, no doubt. And you play with Marv, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. You were how many? You were ahead of him though, right?
Yeah. I was a senior. He was a sophomore.
Got you. Favorite NBA player growing up, if you had to pick one.
My favorite NBA player? Well, my favorite NBA player, Michael Jordan, of course.
Uh-huh.
But the guy that I started watching when I first started watching basketball, and the reason why I wore number 20 was because of Michael Ray Richardson.
Gotcha.
And if you look at his game, my style of play is sort of like that.
Got you.
Good
Got you.
offense, great defensive player.
Got
So
you.
Michael Ray Richardson, New York
Got you.
Knicks.
And new school, favorite new school players. Some of the young guys that's out there, doing it in the bubble right now. Who do you like?
Well, my guy is not even in the bubble. He didn't even come to the bubble. That's Kyrie
Okay.
Irving. I think
Got you.
Kyrie Irving is the best guard in the NBA. So
No
that's
doubt.
my guy.
No doubt, no doubt. Lastly, I appreciate. I'm already kind of getting a flavor and a sense of the kind of individual you are. Just to kind of, I just get the sense that you're a thinker. You know what I'm saying? You're a deep individual. So I'm gonna give you this one as our last 10 random questions.
Okay.
Those billboards on the side of the highway?
Yeah.
If you could put, I mean, especially with the current state of what's going on in the world today, with the social justice or just the politics, just anything. You know what I mean? Coronavirus, whatever. Something inspirational people need right now. If you could put a message on a billboard right now, paid, free of charge for a year, what message would you put on the billboard?
Tough times don't last. Tough people do.
Gotcha. Tough times don't last. Tough people do.
Yep.
No doubt. No doubt. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that. All right, so we're gonna get right into it, man. Just like I tell all the legends, all the guys that I'm here, on the platform paying homage to. I don't want to pigeonhole you or kind of narrow you as far as how you'll tell your story with me asking questions. I have some questions, of course, but I'll just kind of ask questions, along, and kind of tailor them along, with your conversation. But I just want to give you the freedom just to kind of tell your story, man. So just take us back to the beginning of where the Brian Samuel story begins, man. Just kind of start us there.
Okay. First of all, I got to go back to where I was born. I wasn't born in Philadelphia. All right. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
No doubt. Yes, I hear the accent. I hear it in your voice. I hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, man. I'm a New York native. Flatbush.
No doubt.
Yeah. Crook Avenue, stand up, man.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm actually a baseball player, by birth. I think baseball was my first love. I was a gifted baseball player. Basketball became my passion. I think because I'm so competitive and basketball is so much more intimate than baseball. I think as I got older into my early teens, basketball took over as my number one sport. But I was a gifted baseball player, and I actually could have and should have went pro out of high school.
Wow.
But I decided to play basketball, and hindsight being 2020, I probably should have went and played baseball because as I learned throughout the years, the politics in basketball is something that a lot of guys that play competitive hoops really don't like.
And
So,
what position did you play in baseball? Just curious.
I was I played third base, shortstop, and I pitched.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Continue.
Yeah. So that was my that's what I should have done. Basketball is something that it completely took over my life once I got to my early teens, 13, 14 years old, because I always played both.
And was that still in New York, or did you come over to PA?
No, I moved to Philadelphia. My family moved to Philly when I was about 10 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so prior to junior high school is when we moved to Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
I think because my grandmother passed away in 1983, and the cost, I think my mother said the cost of living started to rise, really get higher and higher, and in New York. So she decided to come here with the rest of her siblings, because this is where my other aunts and my uncle were at that time. So I think she just wanted to be closer to them.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why we relocated and came to Philadelphia.
Gotcha. Got. So describe your at what point did you said baseball was your thing, basketball became your passion, the intimacy of the game and everything. At what point did you really fall in love with it? And then the second part of that question is, at what point did you kind of see yourself starting to become good? You know what I'm saying? Become a little bit better than your peers, or say to yourself, hey, I'm pretty good at basketball.
I think once I got to about 8th grade, I think that's when it really started to hit me like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a professional basketball player. I really enjoy the competitive nature of the sport. I really liked the intimacy of it. And it was just something that I enjoyed more than baseball, you know. So once it got to that point, I started to put everything into it. You know, I started to really, really become a student of the game. I started to play constantly all day, all night, you know, watching film, watching games, anything that I could, you know, get my hands on to absorb more of the game.
Yeah.
I was doing it, you know, because back then, you know, it was like, that was the thing, you know, for us, it was, listen, we going to college and we trying to get to the NBA. We trying to live out our dreams.
Of
so
course.
I'm the kind of person that I'm super competitive. So I always imagine myself being the best, and to be the best, you have to do more. You have to do extra. You can't just ride the wave and do what everybody else is doing.
Of course.
You have to be different, so to speak.
Got you. Describe it for anyone who you know, didn't see you play. Describe your type of game. You know what I'm saying? You know, what were your strengths on the court? You know, describe, you know, what type of player you were once you started to kind of come into your groove.
I was a defensive guy, number one. That was my thing. Anybody that knows me, they knew that I was a defensive guy first. I always had a solid offensive game, but I really couldn't shoot until my senior year.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, I really couldn't shoot until my senior year. That's just being honest. You know, I would make shots, but you really can't shoot until you shoot the basketball every time and you know whether it's going in or not. That's when you know you can shoot. And I really couldn't shoot until my senior year. I had to break my shot down. Going into my senior year at Gratz, I had bad form on my shot, you know, so I had to break my shot down mechanically and build it back up. So I had to work really, really hard to change my form. And because of that, I became a much better shooter.
Got you. Hey, real quick, whenever I'm gonna let you know, I may kind of pause this, like, you know, various times throughout the broadcast. Whenever it's a legend in the building, whenever, you know, somebody jumps on and starts watching, definitely got to shout them out, especially if they were, you know, one of our past Legends Week guests. My man Marv O'Connor, a fellow Gratz Bulldog, just jumped on Street Banging. Shout out to Marv, man. We see you, Marv. Appreciate you, big dog.
MOC.
That's right. So before we I don't want to go into Simon Gratz yet, but I just want to find out real quick. Also, we got Tamir Harbin in the building. We got legends in the building.
Oh man, it's my guy, T Harb. Oh
That's
man, I got so many stories with this guy.
No doubt. Hey, so what led you to Simon Gratz, like that as a school? Like, was that your neighborhood school? Like, what led to Gratz? That's all I want to know. Then we'll change channels to something else I wanted to talk about. I just want to know what led to Gratz.
Yeah. Gratz was our neighborhood school at the time.
Okay.
Ben Franklin was the neighborhood school, but then they switched, I think, like 89 or 90, and then we all wound up going to Gratz.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So I don't know what direction you want to go in. If you want to continue freely talking, go ahead. Or if not, I have a question for you. But if not, I mean, because I don't want to.
Any way you want to do it. I'm ready to answer anything.
All right, cool. So before we get into talking about Simon Gratz and all that kind of stuff, tell me some. I like to talk about summer leagues. Tell me, like, you know, all of your summer league memories, most memorable summer league experiences, leagues you played in, whether it's Sunny Hill, Diamond Street, anything. Just let's talk about some summer league memories.
Oh man, listen, I'll take you from around the neighborhood, and then I'll go to like Sunny Hill and stuff like that. So around my neighborhood, you know, coming from like 23rd and Diamond, you know, that's, you know, the projects, you know, Raymond Rosen, that's Dawn Staley, Hank Gathers, we all from the same project.
No doubt.
Yes, man. So we had a court that we would play on. It's called Hoop City.
Gotcha.
You know, that's what we would play all night, you know, to the wee hours of the morning, 5, 6 in the morning, man.
Wow.
You know, in the summertime, it's sweaty, it's dirty, you know, AKA Dust Garden is what they called it. You know what I mean? So we used to play all, and that's all we ever did. Myself, guys like my boy Ron Billups, Ira Pratt, Michael Blunt, Eric Lackey, all of these guys, you know, some of my guys that even played high school with us, everybody played on this court. You know, it was legendary, you know, and then obviously we took it a step further, and I started, you know, to play in the Sunny Hill League and stuff like that, which was great. It was awesome. And some of my best friends, you know, guys that I have great relationships with to this day, I met playing in the Sunny Hill League. You know what I mean? I got great stories about that. You know, guys like my boy Tamir Harbin, Donnie Carr, Kobe Bryant, you know, the late great Kobe Bryant, man, you know, God rest his soul, man, and a lot of other guys, Yah Davis, you know what I mean? Me and Yah actually went to for Simons together, you
Gotcha.
know. So yeah, yeah. But Mike Jordan, yeah, my man Mike
MJ,
Jordan.
for sure,
Yeah,
for sure,
we
for
all
sure.
played on the Sunny Hill squad together, you know, all-star team. It was beautiful, man. The way that those games were back then, like you had to bring it because you really get dragged, man. You know, every 1 week we play South Philly, we playing Donnie Carr and all these guys, Rasheed Bear, y'all the dudes, man, and playing them dudes, you gotta be ready to defend on every play, you know, because
That's right.
you know it's clear out. There's 1-4 for Donnie, you know, or the road for Sign, you know. Then we played the medics. We played my guy Tamir Harbin and them dudes. You know, he's silky smooth, you know. And of course, when we played Kobe and Kobe was like it was different. And I'm gonna get into that, you know, later because is this word that keep being thrown around, you know, in the basketball community, and it's called different. You know what I mean? Different. You know, and
Yeah,
it's to me that word shouldn't be used with any kind of player, just anybody.
yeah,
You know, it's only
yeah,
certain players that you can attach that kind of label to.
yeah.
And Kobe was one of those guys, and not because of the way that, not solely because of his skill as he got older, but it was because of this. You know, his mindset, the way that he thought, his will was different. That's what makes you different. It's your will. It's your mentality, aka the Mamba mentality. The way that
Of
he
course.
thought was completely different. And I'll tell you a story. You know, if you want me to go into it, I can
No,
go
no, no,
into it.
no. Go ahead, preach. I'm listening.
Okay.
Preach. I'm listening. I'm all
All right,
ears.
I'm gonna tell you. We're down McGonigal Hall. This is down the Sunny Hill League, and I'm heading into my, I think this is 94. Yeah, this is 94 because I'm a junior. You know, Kobe's 10th grade. So is myself. There's Tamir Harbin. There's Donnie Carr, Mike Jordan, and all the other guys that we would be down there. And we sitting down and we talking basketball and just talking hoops, man, eating tasty cakes and stuff like that.
Of course.
And, you know, back then, 93, 94, you talking about that's Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. These are the
Yes.
best wing guys, you know, in the NBA or college basketball at the time. And we talking about, and all of a sudden, you know, Kobe says something like, man, ain't neither one of them better than me. This dude is 15 years old, right? This dude is 15. Penny made the All-Star game, I think, his first year, right? So I'm like, I'm looking at us. I'm like, Harb, is this dude, did he just say he was better than Penny and Grant Hill? Like, I said, man, go get Shea and Sharia, man. This dude, he needs some warm milk, some graham crackers, man. This dude tripping, right?
I bumped
So,
his head.
yeah, he's bugging. I'm like, he just said he was better than. He didn't laugh.
Yeah.
He didn't crack a smile. It was like stone face, like he was
Yeah.
serious about that. But what I didn't know, really at that time, was his work ethic. So he could talk like that
Yeah.
because in his mind, he already knew that because how hard he worked, his work ethic and his will, it was going to expedite his developmental process,
100%.
and he was going to eventually pass those guys. But
Yeah.
at that time, I couldn't see it
Yeah.
because I'm like, you're not that much better than me right now. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm tripping off a dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, this guy is crazy. But that is what made him different. That
Of course.
is what makes a player different. It's his mentality. And he had that kind of mentality since he was a kid, man.
Yeah, crazy, man. I appreciate that. Hey, so what are some of your most memorable experiences or games, summer league games, whether it's, you know, down at McGonigal in the Sunny Hill Leagues, just anything that, you know, something, you know, it's always those moments where still to this day in a barbershop, people will sit back, yo, you remember that day, man, down McGonigal, this team,
Right.
and this thing happened or that thing? What's something that still kind of pops in your mind from those days?
Oh, man. Funny. This is a crazy story, right? We playing in the this is the Future Stars tournament, right? This is Rising Seniors now. It's me, Terrell Stokes, Rasheed Brokenborough, Larry
Legendary.
Kettner,
Oh man,
the great late great Larry Kettner,
late
man.
great Larry Kettner.
R.I.P. Larry, man, and this dude named Greg Hammond. He was from South Jersey, so that's our starting five, right? We playing.
Wait. Say, listen, legendary. It's legendary, people. Say
Yeah,
starting five again.
that
Say
was our
starting
starting
five again,
five.
dog.
It was myself, Rasheed Brokenborough, Terrell Stokes, Larry Kettner, and Greg Hammond.
Wow.
That's our 5, right?
Crazy.
We're playing the BCBA All-Stars. They from Boston. This is the team with Scooney Penn, Eggy McCray, Pat Bradley, Randall Jackson, these guys, right?
Wow.
So we mopping these dudes, right? First half, we mopping these dudes. We just we guarding up, we rebounding the ball, we just outletting. We getting layups and dunks and everything, right? Sonny Hill, John Harnett, the great John Harnett, the late great John Harnett, that's our coach, right? So so John just letting us go. Sonny Hill comes in the gym. He watched a couple plays. We go, we get fast breaks. Look, Sonny stops the game. He said, hold up. He said, wait a minute. He said, John Harnett, this is not basketball. This is how he talked. He said, this is not basketball. He said, I want to see 5 passes on a basketball before a shot goes up. Yo, them dudes came back and beat us by 15, man. Yo, they beat us by 15. But Sonny Hill and all of the coaches down there that coached us throughout that league, what they wanted was, they was more about teaching the game. They cared about winning, but only to a certain extent. They wanted you to learn how to play basketball.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now, like, if you look at how the game is being played now, these guys don't have a clue, man. You know, and they're talented. A lot of these guys are talented, but they don't have a clue how to play basketball. Gotcha. And they like, we had to go to class in the Sunny Hill League. Like, you miss class, yo. Oh, they come get you off the court.
No doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? Like that kind of discipline. Like they can't. You missed class today. Yeah, you're not playing.
Of course.
So that's how it was. It wasn't this instant gratification that we have today in today's game. It's not the same. You know what I mean? It's just, it's certain things that you really, really had to wait for and be patient with. And that was funny, yo. Sonny was funny, man.
That's classic right there. That's classic. Walter, I want you to talk about John. I want you to talk about Harnett, but like that's one of the last things I want you to talk about before we transition. From talking about summer league days and all that. But what's something else that kind of sticks out in your mind? Whether it's another game or just something else that happened down there in the summer league. In the summer league that you'll never forget.
I remember that Kareem Towns, Kareem Rab Towns, used to have an entourage. Like this dude was like God, yo. Like you all of a sudden you would just see all these people walking. I'm like, yo, like who is this? Like this dude had an entourage. Like he's like one of the first non-multi-millionaires that I've seen that had that kind of following. Yeah. Like at 18 and 19 years old. It was crazy, man. It really was crazy. It was crazy. I remember that. That's what it'll make. Because it's so many games that we played that it nothing really sticks out in my mind. That one situation where we was playing in the Future Stars really, really stuck out. That story right there really stuck out.
I appreciate that, man, because one thing that this generation definitely missed out on was like the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like I remember, walking into McGonigal and just the atmosphere. It's like the whole world was stopped. It was like nothing else was going on, and especially in the city of Philadelphia and the suburbs. Everybody was there. Nowadays you got AAU, you got a million tournaments going on, right? And you may go to a big time tournament, but the best teams aren't there because they're playing somewhere else. Right? They're playing on the Under Armour, they're on Nike, they're on the Adidas circuit. But when that stuff was going on, everybody was at McDonald's. It was the who's who. Everybody was there. So it's like, and you would sit there and watch all these just hours and hours and hours of games. And then you like the older guys, the professionals. You know what I'm saying? It was like that atmosphere was crazy. You see these guys. You see you see Harnett with a crowd of kids around him. So that atmosphere, man. I just I appreciate you just breaking down, just kind of explaining that atmosphere. Because these kids definitely missed out on that, man.
Right. Absolutely. It's not the same. One of the things that we had the opportunity to have even in the summertime was really good coaching, and I'm talking about, we used to have practice and be given instruction on, like the minor details and stuff like that, things that really make a difference in a game in particular. What I mean? Now it's not like that. It's like, they just roll the balls out, blah, blah, blah. AAU is kind of taking the game in a totally, different direction. Development is not something that's a priority. It's all about talent and, how much a kid can be a superstar, so they're teaching these kids how to be individuals before they ever learn how to coexist and be part of a team, be part of be part of a system. These guys don't know that. So you'll see a lot of guys going to, they're getting recruited higher now because they have the AAU platform. And, if you skilled, you talented or whatever, you're a good athlete, you'll catch the eye of some of these coaches. They'll bring you in. But once you get there, what are you going to do? You have no fundamental soundness to your game. You don't understand how to play. You don't know how to fit into structure. You have no discipline. So now what are you going to do? Because you don't understand these things, you're going to think that the coach is picking on you. When he tells you certain stuff that you don't know, that you should know as a college freshman, you're going to lose it. And, you're going to start telling people, oh, the coach is picking on me.
Coach
this, that, and the third. Exactly.
No doubt. Hey, before we transition to, talking about summer league stuff, tell me about Harnett, what he meant to you, and just any memories of Harnett, and just, anything you want to say about him, and just what he meant to you and what he meant to the game of basketball, especially in Philly.
John was a good guy. He was pretty much, he was a straightforward dude. He was a straight shooter. It wasn't like he's not coddling nobody. He wasn't holding your hand. He was going to tell you exactly, what it was you're supposed to know, what it was you're supposed to do. And that's that. He was a straight shooter. No, he was a good guy. I didn't play for him in the Sunny Hill League. He was basically the all-star coach. Dennis Caldwell and Horace Owens, those were our coaches for the North Philly squad.
Gotcha.
So I only played for John Harnett in the summer when it came to the Future Stars and stuff like that, Concha Hockin and stuff like that. Gotcha. But he was very influential, pretty much with all the guys on the team.
Lastly, something else popped in my mind. Who's possibly one of the toughest players you played against in all of your summer league experiences? And hard guards for you, man. Some guys you went up against where it was just crazy.
Anywhere or just in Philly?
Anywhere.
You mean in the summertime?
Summer leagues, summertime.
Summer league. Oh man. Off the top, I gotta say Flip.
Okay.
Flip was a beast, man. Flip was a beast. And it was all the throughout the city. It's the same thing. Like anytime you're not ready to play, somebody can eat your lunch. You know what I'm saying? But off the top, Flip just had amazing ability, man. He just, he had a different gear, and he right off the top, he's the one that I thought about as soon as you asked me that.
No doubt.
No
doubt. Yeah. Appreciate it. All right, well, let's transition into high school, man. In any way you want to talk about your high school experience from your freshman year to your senior year, but just make sure you just touch on memorable experiences, big games, any big rival games, or we just kind of take it step by step. You can talk, or I can just ask you specifics or whatever you want to do, but just talk about the Gratz experience.
Okay, I'll take it from, when I first got to Gratz, so I'll go 9th grade and I'll go up. Actually, when I was in 8th grade at Fitzsimons, after the season was over, I used to go up to Gratz, and I used to practice. I used to work out with these guys. That's when I first met Rasheed.
Okay.
Jamal Redmond.
Did Coach L and them know that you were coming? Or?
Yeah, he knew that I was coming at that point. He knew I was coming at that point. So that's when I first met Rasheed, Jamal Redmond, all these guys, and when I got there, it was a different. It was when I first started seeing those guys, because coming from junior high school, going to the high school level, and I had never seen a 7-foot dude before. When I walked in, I said, "This dude in high school? Like, are you serious?" Like, what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow. I said, this is something that's completely different. Like, what I'm saying? We playing against men now. So I get to 9th grade, and the first thing that sticks out in my head when I get to 9th grade is the way we worked out, because at Gratz, it was mandatory that we run cross country. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're a basketball player, you're running cross country, So the workouts was crazy. And because Mr. L is a vet, he's a Vietnam vet. So
Yeah.
some of the things that he implemented and he kind of like he put into his program, it was things from his military background.
Okay.
So we had this thing called Hell Week. And anybody know anything about like the Navy SEALs and stuff like that? They have Hell Week. That is to test your commitment and dedication to the team.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Wow.
So it'd be 1 week where it's just like he's pushing you to the limit. I mean, it's the work this crazy. And I wound up pulling a muscle in my stomach. I had never did that many crunches or sit-ups in my life. My mom had to take me to the hospital.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, mom had to take me to the hospital. I wound up pulling the muscle in my stomach, so that is what stuck out right from the rip. It was like, you're not playing any basketball for the first 2 or 3 months. That's all conditioning, Once practice does start, you kind of got to fall in line. That's where Contrell Scott and those guys, he took me under his wing, myself, Terrell Stokes, because we were freshmen at the time. At that time, we were the only freshmen on the team.
Gotcha.
And, you have to follow the seniors. You kind of have to, fall in line and kind of figure out what this thing is all about, because it's not the same. It's a different level. Those guys.
And just to put in perspective, what year was this, just so the people know? Like
this was 91, 92.
91, 92. Okay, gotcha.
This is my freshman year, 91, 92.
And Rasheed may have been a junior.
He was a junior that year.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
he was a junior. I was a freshman, and everything from there, just like we wound up, we did excellent that year, as we always did. We went 26-4. We finished, I think we finished 9th in the country. We was ranked as high as number 3. But we fell short in the championship against Franklin Learning Center, and wasn't one of our better games that year. It was one of our worst games that year, actually.
Yeah.
They got it done, so we had to give them guys credit.
Mm-hmm. And who was some of the individuals on that FLC team?
FLC, oh man, my guy Sean Colson was on that team. He was a starting point guard. He had Clifford Dunn, Isaiah Russell, Meatball, Ferran Hand, my guy, and Ty Weeks. I believe that was their starting 5. So they were tough, man.
Legendary
yeah.
5 right there.
Yeah, they was a load, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue, man. So just continue, talking about just memorable games. Just anything you want to break down about Gratz.
That, I tell you what, that next year, which was legendary, my sophomore year, we was the number 1 team in the country, wire to wire.
Gotcha.
USA Today opens up with us number 1, and we finished number 1. So we went 31-0. That year,
that's crazy.
That was crazy, man, because
y'all was like rock stars, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because playing at Gratz, I didn't know how much it was like college until I got to college.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I got to Rutgers, I said, damn, this is like how it was at Gratz. You understand what I'm saying? It was like really like being a college student in high school. That's what it was. And we was traveling all over the place, and people was following us, and it was bananas, and of course we was bombing everybody. It was like, we was pretty much, putting our foot up in everybody, what.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying? So it was beautiful, man. Some of the memories and things that I have, like all of the books and the pictures and all this stuff that I still have from that year, is like it's amazing. I will never get rid of that stuff, man. I keep that stuff and I cherish it forever. But
no, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was a beautiful time, man. And I actually had one of my worst experiences as a basketball player my sophomore year. And I got to tell you this, and this is legendary. And he might chime in. We're playing, this is the beginning of the season. We're number 1 team in the country. We're playing Redemption Christian Academy at home at Gratz. This is a team from New York, right? They come in, and, we cocky. I'm cocky. We all cocky. We number 1 team in the country, you know what I mean? So I get in the game, and they had a senior guard on their team. I don't know this dude. I don't know if I've seen him since. But this dude, he stripped me 3 straight times. This is not a lie. It's not an exaggeration. 3 straight times he stripped me for dunks.
Wait. He stripped you and then dunked?
3 straight times for dunks. Lack, please chime in if you on here.
And I know it, and Lack would definitely remember because he got his memory's like a hard drive.
Trust me. He said, I bring it up, boom. I spin, he ripped, boom, he dunked it. The crowd boo. I said, that's nothing. I got him. Come down again, boom, 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 boom. He ripped me again. Bouncing off the floor. Boom. I said, damn, that's nothing. Don't worry about it. Got him. Bang, bang, bang. He ripped me again. He dunked it backwards. Boom.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yo, is this on film, dog?
This, I don't know. I swear
we
on
gotta
everything.
find out. Whoever this dude is, if he went to the league, dog, he had to go straight to the league.
Yo, so dig it. When I finally get past this guy, right? That was 3 straight turnovers I had, right?
Yo, wait. Lackey said each time you did a different dunk.
I told you. No lie.
Yo,
So,
Lackey, who was it? What's his name, dog?
I
Lackey,
don't
please
know.
tell us his name, dog.
I don't know this guy, man. But when I finally get past this dude, right? I throw the ball out of bounds. 4 straight turnovers. So Mr. L finally takes me out the game. I come down, I sit down. And Rasheed said something to me I'll never forget. I appreciate him for that. I came down, I sat down on the bench, and Mr. L says, you know, see, what you got to do is you got to work on your handle now. You know what I'm saying? So Rasheed sitting right there. I turned to him. He said, man, don't worry about that, man. He said, you still the and turned it over. He said I was still the man. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So,
we froze a second. What you say? What did Rasheed say to you? The screen froze.
he said, don't worry about that, man. You still the man.
I respect that, man. Shout out to all you guys still encouraging you.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, these days, you know, boys, you would have been the bid. You would have just been the bid forever.
Oh my God. Because Mr. L used to always say that you're never really a basketball player until you've been embarrassed.
Yeah.
He used to always say that. You're never really a basketball player until you've been embarrassed. And when you experience that hurt and that pain of being embarrassed like that, you'll work that much harder to improve your game.
No doubt.
And that's what I did. I just went to the lab.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. So what else about that 31-0 season? Is that the year you guys played against Felipe Lopez and Rice, or no?
No, that was my junior year. That was the next
right.
year, 94.
Okay, all right. So before you get there, what else do you remember about what were some big local games that you guys may have had then, even though y'all won them, but just some big local rivalries or just any other games across the country that y'all played that year, and some other big time players that you remember playing against then, because y'all played like almost like a national schedule. Y'all traveled across the country, right?
Yeah. We played the Beach Ball Classic. We won that year. It was tough. We almost lost, actually. We almost lost to Shawnee from New Jersey because they was tough. They was tough. They had the Earl brothers, Brian and Danny. They had Malik Allen. They had Kirk Luckman, the big guy. So, and they was very well coached. And we almost lost that game down there. But we wound up pulling it out. But the thing I remember most about that team and about that season was our practices. Our practices was amazing, man. I mean, anybody.
Y'all had like 2 starting 5s, man.
Oh my God, yo, it was crazy.
Hey, real quick, my fault. Shout out to Aleem Watson. Appreciate you, Aleem. Give us some history, man. He said y'all beat Roman in Johnstown. He said Jason Kidd was at the Beach Ball Classic. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, that was J Kidd was at the Beach Ball Classic. That was my 9th grade year though.
Okay.
When we beat them at the Beach Ball Classic, but he was unbelievable. That guy, he was amazing. He was the best player in the country that year. He was special. Then, 10th grade. That was funny. You brought that up, man. Yeah. We played Roman, and T. Harv remember this, man. We played Roman down at Johnstown. One of the most vicious dunks I ever seen, man. Rasheed dunked on Mike Tabb. Yo, I mean, he caught it on a roll and just went straight over top of him. And Tabb not a little dude. Mike Tabb like 6'8", 6'9". She went right over top of him, man. Oh my God.
Legendary.
I gotta apologize to Mike Tabb about that too, man. That was vicious, man.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was crazy. But our practices at Gratz was really the thing that kind of stand out. Mr. L used to kick us out of practice quite often because in 93, the teams were so even. Like, we used to beat them a lot of times in practice. The second team used to beat them a lot. You know what I'm saying? it'll get real physical, it'll get real testy, and Mr. L wound up kicking us out of practice. So anytime you play in a real program, your practice is going to be harder than games. You know what I mean? And that's what it was for us. If your practices are harder than your games, then you're playing in a real practice. You're playing in a real program. If your games are harder than practice, you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Definitely.
What's something that you learned from like you mentioned earlier, like Mr. L with the discipline, the military stuff, the practice, the dedication to the program and to your craft. What's something that you learned from him that you took to Rutgers and that you still that's kind of still is with you today, like maybe as a as a father or just as a man or whatever?
He taught all of us, but the thing that stands out the most to me is the fact that he was a man's man. Like he was a man's man. Like he really cared about us as people. And that's something that once you get to the next level, that might be something that's completely missing, because a lot of times they don't care about you. As soon as you sign that paper, you sign that letter of intent, man, and you get there, everything changes. You understand what I'm saying? It changes. And he just cared so much about his guys, because to this day, I can call him and ask him about anything, talk to him about anything, because he just cared. He was a man's man. And you can be a great coach, X's and O's wise, but if you're not a good person, then that is going to spill. It's going to permeate your entire life, and it'll just mess up everything. And that kind of stuff is what kind of trickles down to the program. If you're a bad person, eventually it's going to show,
of course,
within your team.
Got you. Appreciate that. Yeah. So continue talking about Gratz. So this sophomore year, that was Rasheed's senior year.
Yeah, 93. That was the senior year. Yep.
All right, gotcha. Yep. Before we talk about that, what was it like? Talk about Sheed, man. Talk about Rasheed Wallace. Everybody knows him. The world knows him from North Carolina, and then in the pros, Pistons, and all that. But talk about just what it was like playing against Rasheed Wallace, playing with him, man, and just how great it was on the high school level, man.
It's funny because when you play with a guy like that, when you move on, you get spoiled by playing with guys like that, with big guys who never drop the basketball. You could throw the ball anywhere around the rim. He's going to catch it. He's behind you to protect every time if you get beat on penetration. He was like the model of consistency. I really don't remember him having more than one bad game at Gratz. Never. He was just like the model of consistency, as talented as he was, because he's the kind of guy that he was so agile and so athletic that he could block a shot, gather the ball, outlet it, run the floor, and then finish on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. He was just that kind of guy, man. He was so fast. And I'm talking about track-wise. This dude was he ran the 200 in high school. Wow. I mean? A lot of people don't know. He ran the 200. Man. Yeah, he ran the 200.
That's dope, man. I didn't realize that, man. I can't wait to get Sheed. God willing, I get Sheed on the show soon. Man, I got to hear all this from him. But I knew he ran track. I knew he did. Guys did the long distance and all that. Cross country. But I didn't know that he did the the field, the sprinting and all that kind of stuff. I had no idea. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, because we had to. After when you play basketball at Gratz, before the season you had to run cross country. After the season you had to either play baseball or run track. Because I was a baseball player, I played baseball. But Mr. L still made me run a few track events. You know what I mean? But we had so many guys that was it's guys that you'll never know, or that was so great as athletes, like Alem Watson. That dude was so athletic, man. You know what I'm saying? He did the high jump. I think he ran the hurdles, and he ran the 200 or something like that. These guys were special athletes, man.
That's
you know
dope,
what I mean?
Dope.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yes.
Hey, so talk about your junior year, and definitely got to talk about playing against Rice, man. Felipe Lopez, shout out to him, man. That's one of my favorite high school basketball players of all time, man.
Yeah.
The Dominican Michael Jordan, man. But talk about your junior year, senior year, and just any way you want to.
Oh, okay. Junior, he was. I'll get to that. But junior, starting off with junior year, we went small that year. We didn't have the same size that we did the previous 2 years, so we went small. So it was myself, Michael Blunt, Terrell Stokes, Sean Smith, and Leonard Stewart. You know, so we played small. We still had a great season that year because we were just so in tune with one another. We still was special on the defensive end of the floor, and we just, you know, we played together, which we always did. And we won a lot of games. That year we was 26-4 again.
Okay. Did you guys have as strong of a bench as in the past as well? Almost like 2 starting fives as well, or
no, not that year.
That strong? Okay.
Not that year. Not that year. That 5 pretty much went the whole way.
Okay.
In 94, we pretty much went the whole way. So, yeah, but though we played Rice. Actually, we played Rice twice that year. We played Rice twice. We played Rice at the Burger King Classic down in Norfolk, Virginia. We played them. We lost to them. We should have won that game. Nard had 20 in the first half. They couldn't stop him. They didn't have an answer for him. He had 20 in the first half, and the second half we got away from what we were doing that got us to lead.
That was working, yeah.
You know, it was funny. Yeah, we just got away from ourselves, you know, and that one slipped away. But we should have definitely won that game, and we did. We played them again, and at the Beach Ball Classic down in Myrtle Beach, and we lost that game.
Okay.
That was a tight one too, but we wound up losing. I think Lopez was a little bit too much that day. Yeah, he was a little bit too much that day.
No doubt.
One of the more crazy games I ever seen, and this was between Rice High School and a team called Richland.
Okay.
They from Richland, South Carolina. They had 2 twins. They had twins on this team. They backcourt was 6'6". They playing Rice in a semifinal in a Beach Ball Classic, right? Because basically they the home team because they from South Carolina.
Got you.
Felipe Lopez gets 4 fouls in the first quarter.
Wait, what?
Wow,
that's
listen
crazy.
to this story. Yo,
that's crazy.
4 fouls in the first quarter.
In the first quarter.
First quarter. The game is slipping away from Rice. Anybody that was there, they gonna chime in. So the coach, I'm looking at the coach. I said, "Damn, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna leave this dude on the bench for the rest of the half? Because they about to get blown out." He didn't do it. He put Lopez back in the game. He finished with 41.
Wow.
Yeah.
He finished the game.
Finished the game with 41. It was amazing, man. This dude, man, I was like, wow. Like, if he would have went to Kentucky, he'd have been a pro in 1 year. You know, yeah, he'd have been an NBA player in 1 year. Probably been the top pick overall.
Yo,
he was nasty,
Lopez
man.
Was different. Just like you used that word earlier, different. He was different, man.
He was nasty, man.
He was different, man.
He was nasty. Oh my God, he was tough, yo. Like, for real. Like, he was tough, man. You know what I mean? And I can remember when we played them at the Beach Ball Classic, because for some reason when we played them, I guarded him. I started off on him, right? But for some reason he wasn't super aggressive while I was on him.
Okay. So
he had a modest game. We played him in Virginia. It was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Beach Ball Classic, though. I'll never forget this. And Stokes, if you're watching this video, man, don't get mad at me, but I got to tell this story, man.
No doubt. Talk about it.
So I feel like I'm holding my own. I kind of got Lopez in check.
Gotcha.
For some reason, Mr. L made the switch and decided to put T. Stokes on Lopez.
No doubt.
He scored 12 straight, man.
Wow.
Turnaround jumpers like Mike. You know what I'm saying? I said, damn, I don't really know why Mr. L made that move. You know what I'm saying? Because Lopez wasn't really getting busy until he must have saw the shorter person. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to go to the post now. You know what I'm saying? Turnaround.
He definitely had an amazing, professional, Michael Jordan-ish, back to the basket, post game.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean? Amazingly smooth, man.
Oh, man. It was crazy. Like, he was that, man.
Yes, he was.
And anybody that knows me, they know that when it comes to hoops, I'm a harsh critic when it comes to basketball.
No doubt.
So you really got to be good for me to be like, yo, he's the deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? That dude, he was special, man.
For sure.
He was special. For sure. You know what I mean?
What else about your high school career kind of sticks out to you?
Just all the winning, man. Just all the winning, the traveling, you know, the togetherness that we had. And because of that, still to this day, these guys are like, we all brothers. It's like a fraternity. Yeah. You know, it's like, it really is. It's like a fraternity, man. And you'll see some guys in here, you know, popping up on here, you know, saying Bulldogs for life. You know, it was special, man. You know, it was a special time, man. And we kind of like, we took that for granted as we moved on from Gratz. We thought that those things would carry over into college, but it's not like that, because at Gratz, it was a family. It was a brotherhood. You know, you move on to the next level, it's not like that. You're not going to get that same type of environment, that same type of camaraderie all of the time. It's not going to, chances are it won't pan out that way. You understand what I'm saying? Because even when you see teams win in college and stuff like that in different levels, sometimes it be turmoil behind the curtain. You know, you never really know what's really going on, you know, behind the curtain, you know what I mean? And at Gratz, it wasn't like that, because Mr. L, he wasn't the type of person who would, you know, talk behind players' back and stuff like that. No, we had meetings where he would address you right in front of the team.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's the type of person that he was, man. You go to college, man, you hearing stuff about you, you know, the news reporter telling you what the coach said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my locker, you know, Mike Lupica from the New York Daily News, he come telling me something that the coach said. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
You know, it's
every man for himself.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I got a lot of crazy stories for you, man. I'm telling you, especially when I got to Rutgers, it was awful, man.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Just want to mention real quick. I forgot to mention at the top of the hour, Instagram only gives us hour blocks of time to talk. So we're a few minutes into our first hour. So what we'll do is in a few minutes, I'll end this one. You know, save it and then start a new one. You just rejoin in like 30 seconds, and then we'll, you know, just pick up where we left off, you know, where we stop at.
Cool.
But if you want to, if we can, let's transition into before we it's two stops I want to make before we talk about Rutgers. Two very important stops. We got to talk about some camp memories, you know, because camps, you know, like whether it's Nike camp, ABCD, Adidas, or just any camps that you played in. Talk about those, and then we got to talk about the Down to Frio up in Conshohocken.
Oh, okay, yeah. I played in that.
Right.
Conshohocken.
So what camps did you play in? If you
I didn't even go to camp in high school.
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of guys that you know, down with the Sunny Hill movement and everything. They said it was strictly that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do much camps. But you're like the second or third person that I heard that I talked to, a big time player that said they didn't do, you know, many of those like invitational camps. So what was it? Was it that like you weren't invited, or you just didn't go, or you were just doing the Sunny Hill thing, or what was the thing?
I didn't get invited. See, like ABC and, you know, that stuff, Nike and stuff like that. You had to get invited to that stuff. It was invite only. And if you wanted to go to like 5-star, you could go to 5-star if you wanted, but you had to pay. You know, yeah. My mom and them may have $450 to send me to 5-star and all that. Back then. Now, that wasn't happening. You know, so and plus I didn't understand the political side of it that well back then. You know, so I really wasn't pressed, you know, to really have to go to camp. You know, I felt like, you know, I'm still better than these guys. You know, my talent is going to shine. I'll get my just due, but it's not like that, you know.
And so you guys benefit. I mean, and so you're like in your situation. I mean, you're playing with the Simon Gratz Bulldogs, who play in this national schedule. So that was pretty much like your camp. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the writers and guys that, you know what I'm saying, did the rankings. They were at those big time games. So but I guess, you know, technically it wasn't really necessary because you guys were on a big stage. Period. Right. You know, absolutely. Before social media, before ESPN rankings, you guys were on a big stage. So, you know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Yeah, cool, absolutely. Cool. That's definitely, you know, because I used to see Tom Konchalovsky. He used to be everywhere. It's like everywhere we were, he was there. That's what I'm saying. Anytime it was big time high school. Y'all and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anytime it was big time high school basketball going on, Tom Konchalovsky was there. You would see certain people, you know. So, yeah, definitely. Gotcha. But I was hurt. I was initially hurt by the fact that I didn't get invited to ABCD because there were certain guys that was getting invited that I knew I was better than. You know, I don't want to mention nobody's name, but it was quite a few guys that I'm like, he got invited to ABCD. I was like, oh my God. So like I said, as I got old, I started to realize, oh, this is politics. This is, you know, word of mouth. This is a guy that, you know, is getting a favor done because of this person. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, it sucked, but it was what it was. But, you know, eventually I just had to move on from that, man, and take it on the chin. Got you. All right. So, hey, what we'll do right now is we'll take our break. Just give me, I'm gonna end this, save it, and just rejoin me about 30 seconds. So everybody that's watching this, we got a really nice audience. We've had a consistent audience throughout the broadcast, man. So I just want to thank all the viewers. Also, something I forgot to mention as well. For everybody that's watching, y'all make sure y'all all come right back too, because at the very end, be saying we're gonna have a nice little Q&A. So everybody that's watching, I'm gonna just let them ask you some questions. They'll just, you know, the viewers, they'll just start typing their questions in the comment section, and we'll answer them as they go. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right. So everybody come right back, about 30 seconds. We're here with the legendary Brian Samuel, Simon Gratz Bulldogs. It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports. RawSports.tv is the website. Raw Sports Films is the YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody tuned in for Legends Week, Season 6. Tonight's guest is my man Brian Samuels, man. Legendary individual, man. You know, great person, man. Great storyteller, man. Part 2 here in a second. All right, we back. All right, so pick up before we transition and talk about the Donnerfield Classic and all that kind of stuff, and college recruitment, what led to Rutgers. Something that's kind of like it kind of like it was tugging on me to kind of go back to Kobe Bryant, man. Tell what's your experiences with Bean? Any other experiences that you may have had with him? I know you guys didn't. You guys didn't have any cross. You guys didn't play against Lower Merion in high school. You didn't play against Bean in high school?
No, not in high school.
All right. What are some other experiences that you make that you did you ever play with him on a team at all?
Yeah.
What tell me what teammate experience you had with Bean, and just anything about that.
Yeah, well, he was he played up. The guys that I mentioned before, guys like Kobe, Tamir Harbin, Donnie Carr, Mike Jordan, those guys are all a year under us. They're a year under me. So when we played Conshohocken, because Sunny Hill don't have a freshman team, they all played on the sophomore team.
Okay, so that's what we're getting into. So okay, got you. All right, perfect segue. Perfect segue.
Right. So they I tell you what, I give you when I first met Kobe, we was starting to prepare for the Conshohocken tournament, and Jelly Bean brought him down to McGonigal, and we were all on the court already. You know, what I'm saying, me, Tamir Harbin, Donnie Carr, Mike Jordan, you know, all of us, we were all on the court already. So Jelly Bean brings us down to the court, and he was a little gangly guy, bald head, you know, with knee braces on, you know, big feet, you know, gangly dude. So Jelly Bean brings him down. He says, "Hey guys, this is my son Kobe. He's going to be playing with you guys, right?" And he said, "Don't take it easy on him, you know."
No doubt.
Little did we know, this dude was playing with grown men overseas. Understand what I'm saying? So, like, he was always mature. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was always one of those guys that was very mature. He was speaking like Italian. Dude was speaking fluent Italian. I'm like, I told my mom one day, I said, "Yo, this kid on my team, this dude, he speaks a different language." You know, I said, I can barely speak English. This dude
like
speaks
fluid,
yeah,
like
fluid Italian.
Yeah,
you know, this dude speaks Italian. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I remember he always, like, it was funny with him, right? Because I was the primary ball handler on that team. You know, it was me, myself, Tamir Harbin, then Kobe. They were the wing guys, right? So it was funny how he had this way, even back then as a young guy, of like being nice to you so you could give him the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I missed him one time. We was in practice and I missed him. You know what I'm saying? And he came up to me. He said, "B," he said, "Look," he said, "Yo, listen, don't forget about me, all right?" He said, I'm open over there. You know what I mean? Don't forget about me. I was like, yeah.
Just a heads up, just an FYI.
Yeah. I was like, don't worry about it. I got you, man. I got you. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's the
same
form.
That's a nice way of saying it. Yo, B. Yo, you my old head. Yo, I'm over here.
Absolutely.
I'm over here.
Yeah. He had a nice way of letting you know that, you know, he's open. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get it to me, man. You know what I mean? But he was a guy that what his public persona was, it wasn't that. He wasn't that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a dude that, even though he was the baby boy, he always acted like he was older than his sisters. You know what I mean? Like he was older than Shea and Sharia. Like, you know what I mean? He protected them. You know what I mean? Yo, leave my sister alone, man. Don't say nothing to my sister. Like
Gotcha.
he was the big brother. Like they was
Gotcha.
older than him, but he
Of
protected them.
course.
Like so, he loved his family, man. He was a
Of
good
course.
guy.
No
You know what I
doubt.
mean? It was always basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the guys that when I never forget we had practice one day, and because I'm an inner city guy, you know, and I feel like I could wear anybody down that's guarding me. You know, I'm wear anybody down. And this is when I first realized that this dude was like something different. Like his competitiveness was on my level or higher. You know, because I can remember me and him, we matched up against each other, and we going against each other in practice. And this dude, when I'm like, yo, this dude, everywhere I go, he like right there. Like, what? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going nowhere. Yeah, we're gonna do this all day. You understand what I'm saying? That kind of and that's what made me and him cool, because I said, yo, this dude is like me. You know what I'm saying? He got that same type of mentality. Like, he's a little crazy, you know. Like, I call him psycho competitive. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And we all had it. You know what I'm saying? Myself, you know, Tamir, you know, Donnie, Mike, we all had that same thing, but he just he was different, man. He took it to a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely.
Hey, so transition into tell me about your Donner Field Classic memories with the Sunny Hill team up in Conshohocken.
Yeah, that was cool, man. We had that same squad. You know, we had that same squad, and I just remember everybody at that time just like kind of trying to figure their way, like trying to find our way as basketball players. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't win Conshohocken.
Okay.
You know, because I just think that it wasn't I don't think we had enough time together yet to really mesh and gel, you know, to win that.
You played with the juniors, the seniors? Yeah,
I played with the sophomores and the juniors and the rising seniors.
Okay, so you played 3 years, like 3 years straight up there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So guys, I played with those guys for 2 years because, like I said, they didn't have a freshman team, so they played with the rising. They played with the rising sophomores for 2 years. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Until they got to their junior year, and then they moved on. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it was cool. You know, Conshohocken was cool. Like, you know, it was cool. It was one of those. It was like
any big time players you remember playing against down there? Like, a lot of people remember like playing against Lou Rowe, or just you know, guys from Jersey, like the Road Runners would come up with a team always from Jersey.
Right.
Delaware always had, like, I remember like LaRon Profit came over with the Delaware team.
Right.
Who's some guys you remember playing against? You think?
Who's in it? I think Tim Thomas was the only one that played that, you know, because he played for the Road Runners. Yes. Tim Thomas and Shaheen and them guys. You know. So that was I think that was the only one, you know, but we had the young Kobe, you know what I'm saying? No so doubt, he was the guy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he was that guy.
Hey, so transition. Tell me about your college recruiting process. What that was like for you. All the schools that were recruiting you at the time, and then what ultimately led you to Rutgers.
Okay, well, what happened was my senior year at Gratz. After I graduated, a couple months after I graduated, my mother passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my mom passed away. I graduated in June. My mom passed away in August.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that kind of knocked me back. So I didn't go to school right away. Okay. So I sat out 95, 96, I sat out. And I wound up going to Hagerstown, to junior college. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I was a junior college All-American there.
Hey, we can, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm a really emotional person.
Yeah.
So if we can, just for a second, just tell me a little bit about your mom, man.
Yeah. Okay. The best woman I ever met, you know what I'm saying, greatest woman I ever known. That she got sick. She had a kidney failure.
Okay.
And it was her condition wasn't something that was like, you know, all of a sudden, but her death, her passing was all of a sudden. And it was like, it was devastating to all of us, you know, because I was young at the time. I was 18, you know, I had just turned 19, and it rocked us, you know, because we were a close knit family, you know, myself, you know, my brother and my sisters and everybody. And that really like it took a toll on me, you know, and actually moving forward with this conversation, when I get to the part where I tell you about Rutgers and stuff like that, you'll kind of see where the mistake was made as far as my choice to go to Rutgers and stuff like that, you know. But my mom, when I was in high school, my junior year, after my sophomore year, heading to my junior year, I started getting a lot of attention, a lot of mail and stuff from Rutgers and stuff like that. So I would have this conversation, and my mom she would see the stuff, you know, that was coming through. It was a lot of different schools that was writing me and stuff like that, but Rutgers was heavy. They was heavy. They was out in the forefront. You know, they kind of like, you know, they wanted me bad. So when I had the conversation with my mom, you know, she was like, well, she's like, it seemed like you're interested in the school, blah, blah, blah. Is that where you want to go? I said, yeah, as of right now, yeah, this is where I want to go, you know? So senior year, it was still like, you know, they were still hanging around, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So finally, when everything went bad, and she wound up passing away, college was basically off the table at that point. It was like, it was no way that I was going to go to college or anything like that. You know, I had to wait, you know, to kind of like get my mind right. You know, something that's that devastating, you don't just jump up and just go directly into something like that, because you're just not going to be there mentally. Yeah. You know, so that's what I did. I waited. I sat out that year. I was just, you know, I was still kind of, you know, playing ball, trying to stay in shape, you know, trying to get things in order. I talked to a couple of schools, CIAA, you know, some things like that, but it was nothing serious. So I said, you know what, once I do go back and I, you know, eventually go to school, because I hindsight being 2020, I should have went to prep school. Okay. You know, but my high school academic advisor, Miss Shelley Henderson, Miss Rochelle Henderson, she actually is the one that talked me into going to junior college. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's the one that talked me into going to junior college, because she, you know, she was telling me like, listen, you know, you go to a junior college, you know, you know, by the time you graduate there, you'll be finished, you know, 2 years of school, then you go to a 4-year school, and you don't have that far to go. I said, wow. I said, that kind of makes sense. Okay. You know, so I wound up going to Hagerstown, and Hagerstown, it really wasn't, you know, much thought to where I was going to go to junior college, because, you know, my OG, you know, Contrell Scott, he went to Hagerstown. Okay. And he, you know, he lit shit up down there, you know what I mean, and paved the way for me, you know. So once I decided to go to junior college, it was already a wrap. You know, I was going to Hagerstown, you know, full blast. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you said earlier, you mentioned, and thank you so much just for kind of, you know, going back and just, you know, telling me some things about your mom. I appreciate it, man. And you know, my prayers and my thoughts are, you know, continue to be with you and your family. You know, because I'll never forget that, man. So I'll continue to pray for you, man. And
thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. But you mentioned earlier, you said that you had a pretty good experience at Hagerstown. You said you were All-American, or what happened there? So briefly tell me about the Hagerstown experience, and then ultimately back to Rutgers.
Yeah. Hagerstown was cool, man. When I decided to go, you know, I went down there and I worked out, and the coach loved me, you know. So I said, all right, you know, it's cool. He knew I was coming. Like I said, Contrell already, you know, played there. And he knew what Simon Gratz basketball was all about. He knew you know, the type of player that he was getting and stuff like that. So it wasn't much thought. You know, I was on my way. You know, so my freshman year, myself, you know, my big fella Devin Wade, you know, Chester's finest. You know, he from Chester. No doubt. You know, 6'8" dude, amazing touch. You know what I'm saying? Me and him was pretty much the catalyst for that squad that year. And in 97, 96, 97, we went 23-8. We lost in the Region 20 championship to Allegheny. Gotcha. We lost that year. So coming back the next year, my sophomore year, we had a hell of a team that year. Gotcha. My man Tamir Harbin, he wound up coming in. He transferred from Marshall. We had James Fowler from Newman. My man Devin Wade, and my guy Tahar Sutton, who was from Overbrook. He went to Overbrook High School. Okay. Tahar actually should have started for that team. So it really should have been 5 Philly area guys that
Gotcha.
led that squad.
Gotcha.
But being honest, the coach didn't like Tahar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
Gotcha.
we wound up getting it on with Allegheny, who had Steve Francis at the time.
No doubt. I heard Lackey said that you did some talk about that real quick, man. Talk about the battles with Stevie Franchise, man. That's legendary right there, man. Talk about that, man.
Yeah. Steve was nasty, man. Steve was nasty. He played at Allegheny. He went to San Jac down in Texas. He went to San Jacinto in Texas. I think they won the national championship his freshman year. He was in the backcourt with this kid named Roy Dela Cruz from New York. But he wound up transferring back home to Allegheny, and he played with my roommate at Rutgers, actually, my man Joe Salvi.
Gotcha.
Man, yeah, they played on the squad together, but we lost to them twice during the regular season, because obviously we were in the same conference and everything. We lost to them twice in the regular season, but the Region 20 championship, we did the thing to them, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we broke them off something lovely.
That's
we broke them off something lovely. Me and my man T Harb, D Wade, Fowler, we broke them dudes off something lovely, man. But that dude was a monster, though. I ain't gonna lie, he was a monster. You know what I mean? He's definitely a beast.
Do you have any of these archives, VHS, DVD, any of those games, dog? Any record of that stuff? Man?
I had the Region 20 championship game, but I let Joel Salvi hold it.
Come on, man!
Because we was roommates at Rutgers. I let him hold it, and I never got it back.
Was it a VCR tape or DVD?
Yeah, it was a VHS, and he was supposed to transfer it from VHS to DVD, but I don't know if he ever did it.
Oh,
you know
my
what I'm saying?
gosh, yo. The championship again with you versus Steve Francis, dog.
We
gotta
was
try
going
to
at
find that stuff, man. We gotta try to get that stuff
Oh,
back.
man. We was going at it. He was tough. He talked a lot of shit, man.
I can only imagine.
He talked greasy, you know what I'm saying? But he could back it up because he could play.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, real quick before I forget, do you have in your possession? Do you have any of your old Gratz games at all?
Yeah.
Or no.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Do you? Yeah, I got it. I definitely got to try to get my hands on some of those, and I will not. They will not disappear with me. If I can get any, we'll talk about it later or something like that. But if I can get some copies, I want to try to upload some of them to my YouTube channel, to my website, so we can, so the game, so people can see you playing and everything.
Okay.
But so what leads you to Rutgers? What leads you from Hagerstown to Rutgers?
Okay, well, they started off early on me. My sophomore year at Hagerstown, Rutgers came in early. They came in like September, because I wound up going to me and my man D Wade, Devin Wade. We wound up going to this All-American camp out in Kansas City. Okay. So early September, Rutgers comes in. They started calling me. They got in early, and I guess I built a rapport with that team. With the assistant coaches and stuff like that. Everybody calling me and all that kind of stuff. So they came in heavy. They was coming in like full force. And you don't think that it's a possibility that can go left when somebody is after you that heavy. When they're recruiting you that heavy, you don't think that it's something that's going to go left. Like, what I'm saying, you just never think that. But it was a bad choice, and it was a bad choice because at that time, you got to understand, I was still under an emotional cloud from losing my mother, of course, a couple of years prior to that. So I was kind of losing it, emotionally, when Rutgers came in. So, I'm thinking like, oh, wow, this must be my mom talking to me. I need to go to Rutgers because that's mom's. That's what I talked to her about. That's what I wanted to do at that time. So this must be, this must be meant to be, So I had so many schools that was recruiting me, but like I said, Rutgers came in early, and the crazy thing was, I verbally committed to Pittsburgh. Okay, I verbally committed to Pitt. Ralph Willard came down to Hagerstown. I met with him for like 4 hours. He was the head coach at the time. I met with him for like 4 hours, man, and he was telling me, he said, "Listen, you're gonna come in." He said, "The ball is yours." He said, "It's going to be you, Vonteego Cummings, Ricardo Greer, Attila Cosby and Isaac Hawkins, them two 6'10" dudes from DC somewhere. You know, he said that's gonna be the five right there. He said we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna win the Big East. You
That's
know
right.
what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So Troy Weaver, who was he was the assistant coach at the time. He came to Philly and spent the whole day with me. You know what I mean? He came early in the morning. We was together all day. Went breakfast, lunch, dinner. We talked about everything. He said, "Listen, man, we get you next year. We gonna win the Big East. It's not even a question because we got to move Montego to the 2 because that's what he is. You understand what I'm saying?" So I said, "I'm ready to rock and roll, man." He said, "Well, what we got to do to get you here?" I said, "Can I get number 20?" He said, "That's it?" I said, "Yeah, that's all I need is number 20, man."
No doubt.
Say no more. Done.
No doubt.
Right? But when they got my transcript and they saw that I wasn't going to finish until the first summer session, they didn't want to wait.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? They didn't want to wait.
Wow.
They did not want to wait. So my academic advisor, the lovely Dr. Nowakowski, down in Hagerstown, she was telling her, because they was calling her. She said, he's going to finish. I only needed 3 classes. And they were all electives. She said, he's going to finish. He's going to finish. They didn't want to wait. So they moved on, you know. Wow. So the recruiting process was really, really crazy. Then Texas A&M comes in.
Okay.
Texas A&M comes in. So I was home. I see Sean Colson. So Coles like, "Hey, B," because this is Melvin Watkins. Coles played for Melvin Watkins at UNC Charlotte. Right? So Coles said, "B, man, he had me in his office. He watching film on you, dog." He's like, "Yo, he love your game, dog." He said, "I'm telling you, man, go there." But at that time, he was in between jobs. He was leaving UNC Charlotte, heading to Texas A&M. Gotcha. When that happens with a coaching staff, they have to break contact with their recruits. You know what I'm saying? Until they get where they're going. So as soon as they get to Texas A&M, the assistant coach reaches out to me. They want a package deal. You understand what I'm saying? Me and Tamir Harbin. You know what I mean? I'm tripping again. You understand what I'm saying? So they tell me, said, "Listen, call me up." They called me, said, "Listen, man, we want to get you down here this weekend for a visit." You know what I mean? They was opening up a brand new 15,000 seat arena, you know, down there in College Station. You know what I mean? But me, being loyal like I was, I didn't want to put Rutgers off again, knowing I had already did that when I said I was going to Pitt.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So they said, "Yeah, we're going to fly y'all down. You can take the visit." I said, "Yo, listen, man, the papers from Rutgers are already in the mail."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what that happened. Like, you know, that fell through, you know, and me and Tamir, man.
So it could have been Texas A&M with Tamir Harbin.
Yeah.
But, you know, your loyalty and you just chose to go at Rutgers.
Yeah. And I said, I'm going to go to Rutgers, man. I think this is meant to be. You know, my mom want me to go here and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And it just was a total disaster. You know, you can't, and my message would be to any of the young kids that's coming up, that's going through the recruiting process, it would be to take your time. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush the recruiting process. You know, don't rush the recruiting process. And there's certain things that I'll be telling my nephew. You know, I'll be talking to my nephew. My nephew is big time. You know, he's coming up 9th grade, heading into 10th grade, you know, 6'6", 6'7", you know, wing. Anthony Finkley, you know, he plays at West Catholic Prep, you know.
No doubt.
I tell him, you know, listen, man, one of the things.
Oh, the young boy. Yeah, the young boy.
Yeah, that's my nephew.
I like him. He's tough.
Yeah, that's my nephew, man.
No doubt. I seen him this year. That's what's up.
Yep. So I tell him, you know, one of the things you probably want to stay away from is upstart coaches. You know, when a guy's an upstart coach, he can't run his program the way that he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, he's going to get a lot of pressure from the alumni, from administration, you know, from outside forces, from parents. He can't run his program the way that he wants to. And that's something that I got caught up in once I got to Rutgers. There was a lot of politics going on, you know, and, you know, the coach was just a bad person, you know. He was just a bad person. And it was a life lesson, you know, because I used to keep blaming him, you know, blaming him. But I had to accept culpability. I had to accept responsibility for what I had done wrong. And choice, not chance, will determine your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Choice, not chance. You know, the decisions you make is going to shape your future. So if you put yourself in a situation where you're dealing with bad people who don't have your best interests at heart, nothing's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the situation that I went through at Rutgers, because this guy, he was just a bad person. He knew X's and O's, but he was a horrible person. You understand what I'm saying? I'll sit here and tell you that he knew X's and O's. You know, he could coach the game, but he was a bad person, so that made him a bad coach automatically. You know,
crazy. Hey, so we're definitely going to get into that right now, but real quick, I want to shout out a couple more legends that are watching. My god brother Marcus Green, the General's in the building. We got Michael Jordan, MJ's watching. We got Ricky Tucker, Ricky Franchise watching. We got legends in the building, man.
Okay.
But yeah, so talk about so just take me through your Rutgers journey, the mental journey, the difficulty, the adversity you experienced with the coach. Just kind of break it all down, man, because I know I heard a little bit about this, but this is very important. I want you to break this down for me.
Okay. Yeah. So I get there, and like going into any new situation, you got to feel things out first. You kind of got to get your bearings. You got to get your feet up under you, and learn the new system. You got to get acclimated to everything, you know, the playbook and all that kind of stuff, and learning everything like that. Because until you do that, you're thinking on your feet. And when you're thinking, instead of reading, reacting, you're not going to play well. So of course, when we first get there, that's what's happening. You know, I gotta learn the plays, you know, so I'm not going full speed. I'm not reading and reacting. I'm thinking too much. So I'm not playing well. But as soon as I get comfortable, right. And I now I got the playbook. I got everything down. I can't be dealt with. You know, I'm pretty much doing what I want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm dominating. And this kid that he got playing in front of me, of course, he'd been in the program for 3 years at that point. He's a senior now, you know. But at most D1 schools, they have what's called an efficiency rating. An efficiency rating means you get playing time based on how you perform in practice.
Gotcha.
Right? Right. So I had the highest efficiency rating on the team.
Okay.
You know, why am I not playing? So I knew automatically that something was wrong, you know, because I'm dominating. And I always was taught, I was trained to take practice like games.
Exactly.
You take what happens in practice and you transfer it to the game floor.
Especially coming from Gratz and playing with yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we take practice very seriously. So I would dominate this kid. Like, I'm really like embarrassing this guy, you know, and nothing was happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm arguing with assistant coaches, you know, they want to pick arguments with me. I'm like, listen, I'm not even playing, you know. You want to talk about picking out certain games. I can remember vividly games and situations and things that happened from that year that I spent there, you know. I can remember the Temple game. We play at Temple. So before Temple come in, they played Michigan State at the Liacouras. Pepe beat Michigan State at the foul line. So we got to practice or whatever. So this kid that's talking all this trash, Jeff Billett, I gotta say his name. He talking about my boy Rasheed Brokenborough. Now me and Rasheed Brokenborough, we played for the Spurs, man. You know what I'm saying? 15 and under. We won that thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Total response. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my dude, right? So he talking dirty about my boy Rasheed Brokenborough. He talking about Rash like, man, we like, oh, Brokenborough sucks and just that and the third. I'm like, huh? So I said, okay, well, we're going to see. They come in here Saturday night, right?
No doubt.
Temple come in and they mop us on our floor by 25, right? They wax us by 25. Brokenborough killing this dude. Pepe killing this dude, right? So I'm like, I thought these dudes wasn't shit. That's what you said. You understand what I'm saying? You said like you was really better than these guys. Now, keep in mind, up to that point we played Temple, I was murdering everything moving in practice. I was killing everything, right? Now, coach, after the game, we go in the locker room. So I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting there. The coach comes in and apologizes to me. He apologized to me in front of the whole team.
Are you serious?
I swear to God on everything I love. He apologizes to me in front of the whole team.
Wow.
No bull. This is a fact. This is an actual story.
Wow.
He said, he comes in. As soon as everybody sits down, guys, I just want to take this time to apologize to Brian Samuels, you know, in front of the whole team. Brian, it's my fault. You should have been out there. You've been giving us everything that we need. You've been doing everything that we asked you to do. And you should have been out there. There's no excuse. But right now, I don't know what else to do because these guys won't compete. They won't play hard. They won't do this. They won't do that. You know what I'm saying? This dude was weird, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking everything in practice. And it was just never enough. You know what I mean? Guys would do it. It would be situations like one of my boys, Jeff Greer. I got to tell you this. I got to tell this story. But I'm telling you why certain teams win and certain teams lose. Right? We about to play. It's a Saturday night game. We playing Boston College. We about to play Boston College. Right? Now, normally they'll put you in a hotel. If it's an early game on Saturday, they put you in a hotel the night before, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not. It's a Saturday night game. So we stay at our apartments or whatever. Jeff Greer goes to his girlfriend's house, right? We got a 9 o'clock shoot around at the rack. We got a 9 o'clock shoot around. Jeff Greer goes to his girlfriend's house and falls asleep.
Wow.
He missed the entire shoot around.
Yo, are you serious?
He missed the entire shoot around. When he got to the arena, we was in the huddle about to break.
Whoa, that's crazy.
We was about to break at the huddle. He walks in. Asked me if he played.
Of course he did.
Asked me if he started.
Of course he did.
Absolutely. That's how you lose. Those kind of teams don't win anything. You understand what I'm saying? So it was stuff like that. Jeff Billett, the same thing. We got practice. He sleeps through his alarm clock. He shows up to practice late. Asked me if he started.
Of course he did.
Asked me if he played.
Of course he did.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So
the funny thing about that is normally stories like this go like, all right, when I was talking to like my man, you know, my bro Khalif Wyatt, you know, Temple, you know, like certain stories go, yeah, you know, the one player, he was slipping, he, you know, his grades, whatever, he missed the practice. So, you know, he came to the game late. So then the coach looked down the bench and said, you know, Samuels, now this is your opportunity.
Right.
And from there, the rest was history. You know what I'm saying? But not in this situation.
No. And it was just, you know, you see things like that and you automatically know why a particular team lose, why a team hasn't been to the tournament in 8, 9, 10 years, et cetera, because it was multiple situations like that they just couldn't get a handle on. You understand what I'm saying? And it was another.
Yeah, but sorry. What was it about this coach? I mean, that, you know, what was like the underneath? You know what I'm saying? What was going on, man? Like at the root of what was going on? Like what was going on?
Come to find out, he was a racist.
Wow.
Come to find out, he was a racist, and I didn't know. I didn't learn that until I left. And
who was the coach again? Who MJ wanted to know who the coach was?
This guy named Kevin Bannon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's probably in jail right now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's real. Like that's real. He was when he got fired from Rutgers, he got hired by the Parks Commission or something like that, and he was embezzling funds. Like he was doing some funny business with the money over there with the Parks Commission, and he got indicted on 10 felony charges.
Wow.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? That a person's character, it doesn't change. You understand what I'm saying? Like eventually they're going to do something, and you're not going to be surprised by it. You'll be like, wow, he really, he really did that. You know, but that's the kind of person that he was. You know,
so him being a racist, like where, like, you know, what was your experience with that? When did that like come to your being, and when did you realize that? I guess that's all I'm trying to say.
Well, he would say little things, but it really didn't register to me because my father kept saying, my dad kept saying, you know, Brian, man, he's like, Brian, man, this guy's a racist, man. He don't like black people. He don't like black people. He kept saying that, but I'm thinking that's just my dad. You know, that's my father's love for his son. You know, he's just trying to console me and comfort me and help me, you know, get through this difficult time, you know. And my dad, so my father, like, Brian, he a racist. But at that time, I didn't really understand how racism actually worked. You know, I didn't really understand. So once I left and I came back, we had our strength and conditioning coach. His name was Tom Scott. He was our strength and conditioning coach. So when I left, I still was dating a girl up there. So when I would come back, I would go up there, you know, and I would kind of go over there and check out. And I met Gary Waters. You know, Coach Waters at the time had taken over the program. And T. Scott told me that Bannon had called Rob Lanier a nigger.
Wow.
Right? Rob Lanier, obviously, you know, Rob Lanier is one of the best coaches in the business. He's a head coach now at Georgia State. You know, he was one of the best in the business, period. But he called Rob Lanier a nigger, and he left on, you know, on really bad terms. They said Rob Lanier was about to tear his head off his body.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So I said, damn, now all that stuff was kind of starting to make sense to me now.
Makes sense to you, yeah.
You know, and that's why they say you never question your parents, man. Your parents know, you know, they know, you know, without knowing, they know. They have that intuition about certain things. But I'm like, damn, I said, this dude, I'm like, yeah. So now all the little things that he would say, it was starting to make sense back now.
Yep.
You know, why are these guys getting gear and Rob Hodgson and Jeff Billett are not getting their gear yet? You understand what I'm saying? Like it's going somewhere. We all going to the same equipment manager to get sneakers and all that stuff. Like, you know, but he wanted Rob Hodgson and Jeff Billett to get theirs first. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was crazy, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I just, it's an experience that I'll never forget. You know, it's something that, if I could change it, you know, obviously I would, you know, but it taught me a lot about people, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely did. It taught me a lot about people. And I told him he was going to get fired. I did. I told him. Because I had multiple meetings with this guy. For some reason, he wanted to keep meeting with me for what? I don't know. I think to kind of...
And you wasn't even playing.
I wasn't even playing. What do you want to talk to me for? And
what do you mean with the guy on the bench for?
Exactly. Like, what do you want to talk to me for? Talk to your man. He played 40 minutes. He had 6 points and 1 assist, and you want to talk to me. You understand what I'm saying? Talk to him. Talk to him, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, we got some more legends in the building. We got Coach Ashley Howard in the building, man. We got Check Ball Magazine, Littell Vaughn in the building, man. We got all the legends in here.
Littell, yo, let me tell you something, man. Littell is a legend, though.
Shout out to LV. That's a legend right there. Shout out to LV, man.
Let me tell you something. Funny story. When I was at Rutgers, man, we was in Hawaii.
And
Littell noticed we in Hawaii, right? We're about to play Auburn, right? I'm in the locker room. I'm stretching. I'm bending down. I'm stretching or whatever. Somebody comes and taps me on my back. I look up. It's Littell, man.
No doubt.
I said, yo, first of all, how did you get to Hawaii, man? You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Then how did you get in the locker room? Like,
no doubt.
This dude is all access, man. He's everywhere.
Yeah,
Littell is everywhere.
I had a similar experience. I was at the McDonald's game in Chicago, and I'm behind the scenes and the little I have my media pass, and then in walks LV. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Right in position. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to LV, man.
Yo, he be everywhere, man.
Hey, real quick. So you were only at Rutgers just for the 1 year?
Yeah.
And then where'd you go after that?
I transferred to the HBCU, man, Tuskegee University down in Alabama.
No doubt.
Yeah. So
and then you played there 1 year or two.
Yeah, I only played 1 year there. I only had 1 year left to play.
Yeah.
I was trying to petition the NCAA to get my year back so I could transfer to another D1 school, but they wouldn't give it to me. You know, they just wouldn't give it to me, and I just had to drop down a level and go to a D2. You know what I'm saying? And I finished up there, which was cool.
How was that experience? How was that HBCU experience for you?
That was cool, man, because it was like high school again. You know what I'm saying?
But sadly, though, it was only one year, though, man. And the year can be a blur. You know what I'm saying? You get there like, oh, this is dope, and then you had that 1 year of it. You know what I'm saying? But how was it? How was it for you though?
It was cool. You know, I played for the legendary coach Ben Jobe. You know what I'm saying? Coach Jobe was he was amazing. You know, he let me go. He kind of guy like if you could play, he's gonna let you go. Okay. You know, and his style of play, anybody would like to play that style of play because it's like he's playing the percentages. You know, he coached Avery Johnson, Bobby Fields, all of those guys when he was at Southern. You know, so it was good, man. But it was just a bad year. Like, you know what I'm saying? I started out, I had a high ankle sprain. Oh, wow. You know, man, it was just it didn't pan out well. We didn't have depth. You know what I mean? We just wasn't a very good basketball team, and it really sucked. You know, but I made friendships, you know, that'll last forever, though, man.
Gotcha. So tell me about life after.
Cornelius, man.
Oh, no
C.
doubt.
Neal, my man C. Neal. I see him on the screen right there. That's my
No
man.
doubt. No, shout out to the
Arizona.
guy. That's
Exactly.
what's up.
Yep.
Hey, so tell me about life after basketball, like after college.
I tell you what, I for a long time, I wasn't even watching basketball, man.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't even watching it. I was so disgusted with the politics in basketball that I wasn't even watching it anymore. I wasn't that interested in it anymore because I just didn't think that it was in my cards. You know what I'm saying? I said everything I attempted in basketball was like it just kept failing. You know, so I didn't, you know, if I felt like if basketball
you weren't used to losing. I mean, coming from the legendary like that 31-0 season, Simon Gratz. I mean, you guys were built up for excellence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, I lost 11 games in 4 years at Gratz. 11-4, and I can remember every single game that we lost. You know what I'm saying? Every game. Yeah. Oh my God, Jermaine Dookie, AKA Bernard King, is in the building. I see him on the screen.
No doubt. What up, Duke? I see you, big dog. Appreciate you tuning in. No doubt. No doubt.
Yo, that's my man. Yep. Yeah, but that when you go from you winning every time you step in between the lines, and then all of a sudden in 1 year you lose 21 games, man. Like it doesn't feel good. You understand what I'm saying? But it was something that I felt good about leaving there because I could have went back. You know, I could have went back. They asked me to come back, but I wasn't, man. I wasn't going to do that to myself because, you know, they was bringing in Jeff Biller's brother, you know, and I knew what they was going to try to do. They was going to try to start him because they wanted a pipeline, a New Jersey pipeline, and I wasn't going back there for that. You know, I said that was at Rutgers.
Oh, yeah. After Tuskegee, they wanted you to come back to Rutgers.
No. After I left Rutgers, I could have went back.
Okay, you could have went back. Okay,
right. I could have went back, but I decided to move on. You know, I said I was tired of dealing with that. Yeah. It wasn't good, man. Gotcha. You know, it really wasn't good. You know, but
and did you play any more after Tuskegee, or that just the basketball chapter of your life, like as it relates to that level and that journey, like closed out?
Right. Well, after that, I went to a couple of CBA camps. I went out Grand Rapids. I went to a camp up in Boston. I went to one in Atlanta, but it just didn't feel right, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was political. You know, Delaney Rudd, he's an agent. He played in the NBA for years. He ran a free agent camp up in Boston, at Boston College, and I went up there, and I was gigging, man. I played well, but what that was an attempt to get his guys placed. He had 10 guys that was playing in that camp, and all it really was an attempt to get his guys signed to certain teams overseas and stuff like that. You know, so once that happened, I said, man, I'm done with the basketball thing. You know, I said I got to move on and with my life, man. You know what I mean? So that's what I did.
I don't like to use the word regrets because I believe God's plan is perfect. Everything happens for a reason, for the direction that you go in life. But if there's like one thing that you wish you could have changed, if anything, about your journey, what would it have been? And maybe nothing, but just curious if there's anything.
The one thing I think I would have changed is I would have been a lot more patient with my decision making.
Okay.
I would have been more patient and took all of my visits as I was coming out of junior college. I would have set 5 teams, 5 schools, 5 weekends in a row, and went through the process thoroughly, as opposed to just jumping the gun and thinking that decision to go to Rutgers was the right choice, without really following the process and letting it dictate what it was. Yeah. And that's what I would have done.
Got you.
Yeah.
2 more questions, man, or 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm gonna turn it over to the people for some Q&A, and then I'll say my thank yous, man, the way I love to. What overall, if you could like sum up and put in a few words what your journey has taught you from the game of basketball, what have you learned?
I think I learned that relationships are the most important thing in this world. if you're going to elevate yourself to a particular level, to a certain level, you're going to get to a certain level in this world, you have to understand the importance of relationships, because from those relationships, resources are available.
Gotcha.
That's the most important thing, you know, and because I've met so many people, you know, playing basketball, you know, across the country, man, I have so many good, positive relationships, man, with guys, you know, all over, you know. And because of that, I've developed certain resources that are going to catapult me into the next aspect of my life, man.
No doubt. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate hearing that.
Definitely.
Hey, well, that's pretty much all I have. I have like one or two more questions, but I'll just I want to give the people some time because we've still got a nice audience. I want to give them some some time to ask some questions. So people, this is your time. We got my man Brian Samuels on here, Simon Gratz legend. If you guys have any questions for him, start typing your questions in the comment section, and as he sees them, he'll answer them. So real quick, I pinned one from my man Marv O'Connor, MOC. He just said a comment. He said, say something else if you can about Coach L. He says he tells people all the time, whatever that they've heard about him, it'll never amount to the they'll never get the full magnitude of what it was like to play for him, man. So what's one more thing that you can say about Coach L, man?
Oh man, he if character had a rating, if it had like a rating, like a credit score,
yeah,
he would have a 900. Like he just pure, man. Like he's just so pure, and everything he did was for us. You know, everything he did was for us, man. You know, he always had your best interests at heart, without a doubt. You understand what I'm saying? And you didn't have to question that, because to this day you can call him. So he's A1 as far as his character. You know what I mean? And it's too many coaches, you know, that are just, they in it for themselves. Everything they do is for themselves. The way they coach, they trying to feature themselves. You know, this is, you know, it's crazy. And he was never like that. You know, his thing was teaching us life lessons, you know, how to deal with basketball after basketball, or how to deal with life after basketball. It was never just, we're going to play basketball, we're going to use you for basketball, then we're going to kick you to the curb. It was never like that. You know, it was always from day one, is systems set up in place to help us be the best that we can be.
Gotcha.
You know, and take advantage of opportunities as they came.
No doubt. I appreciate that. We got a question here from Sanamiz 11. I'm not sure how to say that name. How was it hooping with Ryan Saunders?
Right. That's my man from Delaware.
That's
my man. Yeah. Oh, he was nice. Yeah, he was nice. He was nice, man. He could shoot it. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. He was a competitor, man. He was competitive. Real skinny guy, but he was competitive, man. Could go. Yeah, definitely.
No doubt.
That's my man, Ryan Saunders.
G's23 wants to know, do you think that you can beat your nephew one-on-one?
Yeah, I would never let my nephew beat me one-on-one. Not right now. I don't care how big he is. I'm gonna take him out in deep water and drown him. Yeah, because he can't guard right now. He can't defend right now, so he can't beat me. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Once he learned how to play defense, he'll probably be able to beat me.
Be able to compete, no doubt.
Yeah.
Lackey said, I'm not sure exactly how to read this or what he's saying. Lackey said, how are you Jeff Van Gundy call? I'm not sure if it's a typo.
Oh, he probably said, how did I miss the Jeff Van Gundy call?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. I missed Jeff Van Gundy call. I was at
a story. Oh, he's saying, how did you miss that as far as that story or something?
Oh, well, he
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if that's, but something about Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I went up to the YMCA to hoop one day. Me, Gabe, and a couple of other guys. You know, Jabril Carley. You know, played at Washington. You know, we went up there to play at the YMCA just to get some good runs in and everything. And back then I didn't have a cell phone. It wasn't so it wasn't like they could call my cell phone or whatever. But when I got home, my sister, who actually is right here, G's23, my sister Karen.
Oh, no doubt.
When I got home, she said, Brian, somebody from the Knicks called. I said, somebody from the Knicks? She said, yeah, somebody named Nick Van Gundy, she said. I said, no. I said, you mean Jeff Van Gundy? She said, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
I said, damn. I said, well, what did he say? She's like, oh, she said he gonna call back. You know what I mean? So I was like, shit. Like,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
you missed the call.
I missed the call from Jeff Van Gundy, man. And
Wow.
yeah,
So
that was crazy.
This was after college?
Yeah, that was after Tuskegee.
Wow.
Yeah, that was after Tuskegee.
Did you ever like, you know, was it a caller ID? Or did you get, I mean, was you able to check the missed calls or something like that?
Oh man, I tried everything to get back in touch with Jeff Van Gundy, man, but it didn't work out, you know. And then I got a call from the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rob Babcock. He was the director for player personnel for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I actually talked to him, and he said, "Listen," he said, "I saw your film. I saw your basketball profile." He said, "You did some good things." You know, he said, "What I need you to do is, you know, try to get on the NBA minor league team and get us a schedule, and we'll be out to see you. You know, we'll be out to see you, we'll check you out." But once again, it just never, you know, it never panned out, man. You know, so it just didn't seem like it was meant to be. It wasn't in my cards.
Gotcha.
You know, so
that's what's up. Hollywood Kim said, B, why'd you eat my whole cake?
That's my sister right there. That's Kimberly. That's Kimberly right there. Hey, that cake was super duper delicious. I had to, I just had to do it, yo, like for real. Like I had keys to a house, man, and she was at work one day, and I was hungry, man. I was working a camp, and the cake was there, and I was there, and
rest is history.
I had to get rid of it, man. I had to do it.
No doubt. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Ricardo Watkins said, B. Sam, Callie here. Best story about Ben Job at Tuskegee.
Oh, man. Callie, that dude right there, Ricardo Watkins. You talking about dude could shoot, man? That boy could shoot the blood out the ball, man. You understand what I'm saying? But the best story was when he told Franchise to shut up and be quiet for like 2 weeks.
Crazy. Lonnie
Benjamin, he said, man, Franchise, just be quiet for like 2 weeks, man. Nobody want to hear you talk.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was funny, man. He was a good guy, man. I love them dudes, man. Yeah, Callie could shoot it, man. Yeah, Callie could definitely shoot it, man. But
Lackey asked, what happened in the locker room after the Temple game?
Oh my God. Let me tell you, man. We at the Temple game, like I told you, we go in the locker room. It's cameras in the locker room. It's called a cool down period.
Okay.
Once you go in, it's like a 20-minute period where, you know, nobody can come in except for the players, et cetera, and the coaches.
No media, nothing like that. Just
no media.
Yeah.
So we take showers and everything. Once they open the locker room up to the coach, to the media and all this stuff, they come in. Now it's camera crews and everything in the locker room. And Lack and Blunt, these two dudes, Eric Lackey and Michael Blunt. I don't know how they got in the locker room. I don't know how they got down there.
And this is at Temple or at Rutgers?
No, this is at Rutgers.
Uh-huh.
This is at Rutgers. They come in the locker room, right? So they're like, yo, B, yo, where you at, man? Man, these dudes ain't shit, man. We just got beat by 25. And these my guys, right? These my homies. These my high school teammates. So they understand basketball, right?
Of course.
They know what they seeing. So
of course.
They said, man, these dudes ain't shit, man. I'm like, yo. Once again, what happens the next day? After that, after the coach apologized to me, the next day, when he had to say something about my homies making this noise in the locker room.
Are you serious?
I said, listen, man. I said, they know basketball, man.
That's crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Them dudes, they funny, man.
Yeah. Anybody got any more good questions for my man B. Samuel? Hey, I have one. Let me see what's something I was thinking about earlier. You had mentioned earlier politics and basketball. What are some politics, you know, when you that kind of stick out that you know, if it's any younger players watching this right now that they may be able to learn from? When, you know, what you know pops in your mind when you talk about politics and basketball, something that, you know, young kids can learn from?
It depends, like, you know, because what happens in organized basketball and competitive basketball, that it's a lot of favors that's done. You know, when you in position to kind of like make certain calls and things of that nature, excuse me, you can pull some strings. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember talking to Coach Job about that. And that's one of the reasons why I actually went to Tuskegee, is because Coach Job, he had pull, and he coached in the NBA in the early 80s and stuff like that. So he had so many different relationships, you know, from coaching in the NBA. So really, it was all he had to do was make a phone call or two, and you know, I would be in at a particular time. I just didn't have a good enough season, you know, to actually allow him to be able to push me the way that he did, you know, that the way that he could have, you know. So, but the political thing is like, especially when you get to college, you got to understand that there's a possibility that coaches might get pressure from boosters. A guy's parent might be donating money to the school, to the program. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not playing because his mother and father, they donate money to the school. So who you think is going to get the nod? If his mom just donated $100,000 to the school, you really think you're going to get that nod? It's not going to happen. You know. So
it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, man. It's deeper than what people think it is, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. No question, man.
Hey, so your sister, and I think we'll end here because I think we're closing on our second hour as well, and I don't want us to get cut off. But your sister says, what advice would you give to your nephew right now?
Right now, I would tell my nephew to work hard, leave nothing in the tank, give everything that you have to this game, because you never know when it's going to be over. Play every time you step out on that floor. Play like it's your last. When you're working out, give everything. Empty your tank. You cannot you can't cruise or put things on cruise control and then expect to turn it on when it's game time. So you got to give everything that you have. You know, pay attention to detail and continue to work on your craft if you want to make money playing this game.
Got you. I'm sure nephew and all players, all high school players, college players, you know, definitely appreciate that advice, man. So that's pretty much it, man. This is Legends Week with my man Brian Samuels, man. Thank you so much for you know, giving us your time this evening, man. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Legends Week platform. Thank you for allowing me to be able to you know, pay homage to your legacy. Thanks for the stories. Thanks for being so transparent, man. And you know, whatever you currently have going on in your life right now, you know, I pray that God blesses it. Any future goals and aspirations that you have, I pray that they're fulfilled, man. And you know, just thank you so much, man. I just can't thank you enough, man. Any last words or just any last minute things you want to say? Just anything?
No, just I do have some things that's percolating. You know, it is an association with basketball, but because of contractual situations, I'm not at liberty to talk about it.
Of course.
But as soon as it pops and it goes down, man, I'll reach out to you.
Please
let you know.
Of course.
All right?
Appreciate it, man. Any shout outs you want to give? Any you know, got my man MOC, got your sisters on here still, man. Any shout outs you want to give? Anybody you want to talk to real quick?
That's my little sister right there. Love you too, Eb. All my sisters, man. Karen, Ebony, all of y'all. Debbie, all my sisters, Ina, my brother Terrell, everybody, man. I love y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? My girl just walked in, Shannon. Love you.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
everybody, man.
One last thing before we tune out. I always like to get feedback from the Legends, man. What do you think? What are your thoughts about the whole, you know, thing that I'm doing, the Legends Week platform? You know, having the Legends on, you know, telling the stories. What are your thoughts about that, man? And what was your thought like when you got the call?
Oh, it was amazing because a lot of times you might not get the opportunity to have this kind of platform, you know. And when I first saw it, I said, wow, I said, this is good, man, because, you know, at the time we was on quarantine, all the stuff that's going on, and people had to be in the house, you know, so it was the perfect time to actually, you know, to put this kind of platform in people's faces and kind of, you know, let them see who was who, you know, from back in the day, man, some of the major players, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, man, I definitely appreciate the opportunity. Because I had a difference. I actually need more time. I probably need about 2 days to tell you all the stuff that went down, man. You know what I'm saying? But
if we got to do a part 2, we definitely will, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just anytime, man. Just let me know. You got my information. Just let me know, man.
Yep. Thank you so much. And also, we definitely got to talk more about me possibly figuring out a safe way for me to get some of those archives, some of those Gratz games, so I can safely make some copies, get them immediately back to you, express mail. So I definitely want to try to get. What classics do you have in your possession?
Oh man, I have Frank Lerner. So we played Frank Lerner Center at Community College at '94.
Oh man,
I got that game.
Colson and Weeks and those guys.
No, that was
that was late. That was
Mike Robinson, Newt. all that.
Newton.
You know,
Wow, classic.
yes, I got that game.
I
I got a couple games. Yeah,
no
I got a
doubt.
couple games.
No
Yeah,
doubt. We'll see if we can work that out, man, so I can get some of those archives up for the people to see 'em, man. Thank you
absolutely.
again, man. Make sure you continue to tune in
Uh,
to Legends Week. Tomorrow, I ain't gonna give it up. I got the rest of the week, Legends Week. I'll just say,
all right,
everybody continue to come back, tune in. The rest of the week is gonna be smooth, man. Legends Week, we here, man. Appreciate you, Beast
cool.
Daniels.
All right, love you too, Tracy. I see you on the screen, babe. All
All
right,
right,
thank you, boy.
thanks, Big Dog. I appreciate. Oh, also one last thing, to let your family and friends know, they'll be able to, if anybody missed this interview, like probably tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel, and I'll send you the link so you can share it to anybody who missed it. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you,
All
Big
right.
Dog.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right.